Hi, this is Nemesis Stars here today, and I'm going to talk about scammers as a whole when they try to call you. Um, so, scammers can be absolutely annoying, when they do call you, because, well, they kind of just, um, just like waste your time in a certain way. I mean, there's lots of videos of scammers doing this. So apparently, it usually takes a while for them to, try to call me. I mean, the first call I actually ignored it, which was a long while back, which was in a different area, and then at some point they apparently do it with another number. And then, you know what I mean? Basically, they end up with another number, which is from somewhere else. I don't know exactly where. And then today, I get another call, but I still ignore it, and it was from London this time round. So it's all linked. So what I think is, when they get exposed, I think they move from area to area, building up a business in a way, trying to scam more people, which is not good at all. So, basically doing this, it kind of makes more people mad, but I kind of feel like, the ones that are against this are actually more on edge, because what they're trying to do is they're basically using fake, fake things to do against the scammers altogether, the ones that are trying to get bank details. And, them sort of people apparently are actually good, because on the side of good, because they actually do what is necessary to prevent scammers from hacking into their details altogether. So apparently, I basically think it's a good thing, because the scammers get really annoyed as it goes on. So basically big heart out to those kind of people, as I do respect, all yous for trying, as it will one day end, end basically the scammers one day, and stop them from ever making calls again. So, yeah. Okay, so apparently what the scammers are trying to do is basically get all your bank details and whatever by phoning and all that such and whatever, by pretending to, to apparently say, oh, your, money was, taking out your account, or something to do with, medical bills or something like that, pretending to be someone that they're not. So that's what these scammers are trying to do. And it's not great, to be honest. It kind of sucks to go that low just for money. And they do charge a lot when you basically, when you end up in a call with them. I mean, it's always good to give out fake, addresses and numbers and stuff like that. I mean, there has been instances where some scammers get really frustrated easily, and they end up basically wanting to, sue you or something like that, or basically state that you broke the law or something, for no apparent reason, which is not really a good thing, to be honest. So they kind of do this on purpose, which, again, is not good on that part, as a matter of such. So, it kind of makes me think that they're just a bunch of jerks doing this to people, especially the elderly. So apparently there has been instance with my, my grandparent. So I'm thinking it could have been the same instance, like he got a scam caller trying to get his details and whatever, and he actually did get scammed for that. So apparently that was his fault for basically answering to the scammer and putting his details in and whatever and all that stuff. But, once my aunt got whiff of this, she actually stepped in and actually accused of actually, reporting them and whatever, since she's apparently, at a certain point, close to, with contact to the government, if that makes sense. Since she kind of works for the council somehow. So even though they never really stop these spam calls, I wish they would do something about it, because it kind of gets me on edge. It kind of makes me disappointed in a way. So, yeah, not good at all. So, when I think about it, I just think scam calls would be better without, issues, you know what I mean? Like, if there wasn't any scam calls at all, like, if the whole thing was shut down, and such, I think there is a YouTube channel that kind of is combating that, which I do, again, appreciate, the help, mainly, of trying to take them down. I actually did basically put a comment there, about, the things that are going on and where the next location would be, hoping that you would look into it. I can't really remember the name of the channel, but, basically if he has seen my message, he would know that I'm talking about him. So apparently that's basically respect to the guy that kind of does the calls, to track them down, and shut them down by hacking into their systems and so on, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I really appreciate that he does this, so then one day he'll actually track all of them down and shut all the scammers down entirely, so that we get no more of this. I also do think it's somehow connected to the scalpers, in a way, because I think the scalpers could be somehow connected to the scammers, because they usually steal packages. For example, there has apparently been problems with the RE4 Remakes collection edition being stolen from places mainly and whatever, and shops and whatever, and bought out and whatever because of all these scammers. Now, I think it's the same thing. Mainly, I think they're somehow involved. Like, they could be the same people, mainly. So they kind of, have, two different teams working together. So one does the stealing, and basically puts them in, in buildings or something like that. And then basically one, the other half apparently do all the hacking. So I'm basically believing that these are probably the same group of hackers that leaked the RE4 remake. No, wait, not the RE4 remake. Oh Christ, what was it? That's it. The new games for Resident Evil. For example, Revelations 3 was one in the list. Hunk's new game, which was called Hang. And, a couple of other games was also in the list, like RE1 Director's Cut, which leaked by a hacker, so I'm assuming it's probably in the same list as the scam people, so it's probably the same group that does it. Now, what I'm thinking is they actually do, when basically they get targeted by someone or something, it usually takes a while before they call again. And they apparently do actually move to another area. You know what I mean? They actually do probably move across to another country, and such. And they do end up, setting a business and then doing the same stuff again. To kind of just do the same stuff again to people, scam them for money and whatever, which is not a good thing because that kids can actually end up scammed or whatever in a way, which is not really good at all. And I'm hoping we kind of solve that issue. Hopefully, since the government won't do anything and they're leading it to the content creators and whatever to solve the issues themselves. Well, that's actually disrespectful of the government, mainly. Like, if the government actually did something about it, then we'd all be safer, from scammers. I mean, we shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? We shouldn't have to apparently take them down. I mean, I know it's hard to take them down, but as evidence, I actually do have 3 numbers, to do with them, but I think each time they probably take it down, the number, because knowing me, I probably will put the numbers down, in the description, to basically clarify where each number came from, just so that you would know which ones they came from, like which areas, and them being a spam call, so you'd know for future use on bewaring of those certain areas that are further away. So if you got like calls like that or whatever, like talking about like literally anything about like banks or whatever, then you would know, mainly because what they try to do is connect to your computer and then hack, like stealing all of your money and whatever, which again is just not a good thing. So one thing I can clearly say is to the people basically fighting to end all the spammers on the internet, good luck. I hope you apparently end this soon, as it's been going on for, I think it's been going on for like a long time, and such. I mean, I do remember the one call I got from a foreign, Virgin Media, years back, before I got my number changed and whatever, like way before, mainly. Now, this one actually sounded like, it came from India. I mean, just like all the other, scam callers, which sound India, to me. So apparently he did call and whatever, and was apparently talking about, Virgin Media in a way, or whatever, but I wasn't interested. I kept getting calls from the same people mainly, but it was different people mainly. I just got sick in the end. I just got sick of getting calls from them. So I actually straight away thought of what to say, and I instantly said on the phone, okay, 2 words, and then I shouted out, fuck off. So apparently I shouted that right on the phone and hung up. And then since then, I haven't been contacted by Virgin anymore because of that, from like another country mainly, because now I basically think it's a good thing being blacklisted from that, because now they can't call me about that. So I'm actually happy that they don't have to call me again, again from that area mainly, because, like when they do call you from another country, it's usually bad, because I think it's just a bunch of scammers or something, and they just want to steal your data. I mean, I don't really trust foreigners mainly on other ones mainly. Yeah, so I don't trust people that that from like India, for example, like they seem like a scam person. I don't trust them at all, and I just apparently just want to tell them to stop calling the number and whatever, no matter which number I change to. Scammers would always end up getting a new number or something, or eventually tracking that number somehow, which I probably reckon they probably, I don't know, like, I don't know how they do it. I kind of feel like they probably just do it on purpose or something like that, somehow do something to basically trace all numbers mainly so that they can select which one they're gonna phone. So apparently, I don't basically get phone calls from like you know, like I don't basically I think I'm gonna probably end up getting stopped from getting like scam calls from people now, because I wish I could get blacklisted from like scam calls altogether, so that it would stop, so then I would feel so much better in a way, and they wouldn't bother me ever again, because I kind of get sick and frustrated when they do this, because, you know, it kind of irritates me. So I'm just hoping it gets sorted within years or something like that. Maybe the company gets shut down entirely or something, like multiple different companies. And then eventually get rid of the boss that's in charge of all these scam calls and whatever, and get rid of the, you know, even if it's a couple bosses or so, like to get rid of all of them and basically make a new law against this. Basically for declaring that they will probably put robots or something out there to basically stop scammers from ever doing this again. So I think the AI robot thing is a good idea, as it would stop scammers from trying to scam people on the internet. So like once something like this happens, the robots would track them down, track down the scammers, and instantly either shoot them on sight or arrest them, depending on their charges, I think, which will probably happen one day in life. Okay, so apparently before I wrap this up, just apparently, so apparently what the last thing I'm basically gonna say is, again, everyone that's fighting against scammers, you do a good job, ranking them and making them feel like they hate you and whatever, and they just hang up. Good luck making them even more mad, to run them out of business, and also don't forget to hack them, so as in that will probably leak all the data to you, so then you'll be able to take them down once and for all. So yeah, so apparently this is Nemesis Stars signing out, and stars.